Welcome everyone to Anote's very first AI Day Summit. My name is Christy and I'm Anote's product manager and your host for today. We have several attendees online with us today, so we welcome you all and thank you to those that joined us in New York in person and took the time to make it here. You attending today is moving us one step closer towards our goal of creating a community of folks passionate about AI and products that are revolutionizing our lives and workspace. So today we have a really extremely exciting agenda for you all today, and all of our speakers put a lot of effort into preparing their talks and demos for you today. We have an amazing group of presenters here to share some educational material, such as their recent research and products that they have built within the AI and ML space. After a short 10-minute Q&A break and intermission, we have an amazing lineup of guest speakers who are all founders of some of the latest and greatest AI products. We're super stoked to have them here to speak about their products and the impact it has on people's lives. And with that being said, I'm super excited to now bring to the stage Natan, Vidra, founder and CEO of Anote. Take it away, Natan.
Hello, guys. Thanks so much for joining. We really appreciate you being here. And yeah, thanks for being here. We're really thankful that you guys took the time out of your busy day to kind of join us today. Today, we'll be sharing a bit about Anote, as well as kind of providing an introduction to the AI that works. So a bit about the Anote team. Anote was founded about a year and a half ago by myself and my co-founder, Tommy Clifford. We've been friends for over 15 years. Tommy's worked at Google as a software engineer, and I worked at Deloitte as a data scientist in their applied AI division. At Deloitte, I worked on a bunch of enterprise AI use cases with clients such as the Navy, DoD, the IRS, the NIH. And all these enterprises, were looking at trying to classify text, extract entities, and answer questions from unstructured text data. Next. Example one is I was working on a project with the Navy. The Navy had millions of these documents from hundreds of these different categories, and they were trying to categorize these documents to actually provide the best classification predictions. And currently, this is really a manual process of going through millions of these documents. This kind of use case transcends industries to finance, where you have companies like Morningstar looking at thousands of financial documents, to healthcare, where you have hospitals and companies like Weill Cornell looking at millions of medical charts. Right now, what's in the market is you have current solutions like UiPath, Verify, Abby, and Impera that can do specific types of documents like invoices, K1s, W9s, or receipts. But if you have really specific or raw unstructured text data that doesn't fit these kind of molds, essentially you have to kind of manually label data by hand to train an AI model. This can be very time-consuming and very iterative. Recently, there were new Gen AI models that came out, such as Claude, GPT, and Bard, that enabled you to actually kind of call these models via API to make very great predictions. The problem is, when it comes to raw unstructured text data, they're not very domain-specific or accurate and hallucinate a lot. As a result, you kind of have companies that are looking to build their own foundation models. Essentially, enterprises want to train models on their own data for domain-specific insights. The problem, this is very costly and requires expertise. So all these folks are looking for solutions to fine-tune or reprompt large language models on your own data for tailored, accurate, and domain-specific results. At Anote, we provide a solution that uses state-of-the-art few-shot learning to make high-quality predictions with a few labeled samples. The way it works is as follows. First, you can kind of go and upload a text-based data set. Next. You can upload unstructured, upload structured. These could be PDFs, documents, or a variety of different file formats. Once you do this, you can customize by adding the categories, entities, or questions you'd care about. These can be things like labeling functions or entities or semi-structured prompts that you might want to find within your text data. After you define your ontology, we have the model do their initial prediction, and we provide the edge cases that the model is most uncertain about. You can annotate a few edge cases, and the model actively learns to predict the rest of your data. And when you're finished annotating, you can actually download the resulting labels to CSV or export the fine-tuned model as an API endpoint. That way you can kind of use the label data or the model within your workflows. Essentially, what's nice about this is rather than labeling all the data, you can only look at a few edge cases. And from there, we're able to kind of provide more accurate and domain-specific results. Actually, since we've kind of started with this, we've expanded to a lot of different product lines. We've labeled text data. We've also built your own private financial chatbot where you can chat with documents and LLMs while keeping your data private and secure. And we also have a model inference product where you can make predictions via API to run fine-tune LLMs locally. And all these kind of products are kind of combined into a suite of Anote solutions. Essentially, there's a lot of things that make this different. One item is kind of the active learning capabilities that we have, where we can actually do this new thing called human-centric AI to actually have the model adjust based on the data. We also have, comprehensive capabilities. So we actually have a really great documentation where we've open sourced a bunch of the content. I'll just kind of put it in the chat, where you can kind of read more about some of the stuff we do. And I guess the third thing, we kind of do is we have private solutions that can be very helpful. If you want to run your data on-prem. Next. Essentially, why this matters is essentially in the data labeling space, before using a solution like us, you'd have to go through and manually label data yourself in a spreadsheet, which could be tedious, time-consuming, and costly. But now with this kind of new approach, you can use few-shot learning to make really high-quality, accurate predictions with just a few interventions. Similarly, in the document processing space, if you wanted to ask questions on documents, right now, traditional RAG-based models might get a lot of items wrong. But with fine-tuning, you can actually go from 10 questions right to 15 questions right to 20 questions right with a few interventions, enabling insights that were otherwise impossible to obtain with zero-shot models. And yeah, right now we're at kind of 50K in revenue. We've done 15 different pilot projects with organizations like Harvard Med and Weill Cornell across industries such as finance, ad tech, maritime, legal tech, and we've labeled a bunch of data. But really, this is all about the present. We're talking about the future now, and we're trying to think of how we can make this kind of technology accessible to everyone. Hence, the idea behind AI Day. AI Day, the goal of AI Day is to build an AI community and help make artificial intelligence more accessible. So what does that mean? Right now, there's a real gap between the incredible potential of what AI can do and the actual, use cases that people are kind of tackling today. Right now, today, still people will go through hundreds of documents and manually sift things, label tons of text data manually, write thousands of emails that, you can use AI to actually provide real practical benefit. Similarly, you kind of have these AI experts that are actually going really fast and making a ton of advancements in AI. But the problem is a lot of folks are just being left behind. So we kind of need a community to kind of take everyone's opinion into account, ways that we can kind of all talk about AI, learn about AI, learn about how LLMs work. That way we can kind of incorporate everyone's opinion and diversity into essentially making the best AI for everyone in the most beneficial and positive ways. And that's really the next step in the future for Anote. And to do this at first, we've been lucky to kind of partner with a lot of great organizations such as Breakthrough Tech that have kind of enabled us to kind of get a really great team. And we also want to kind of build this community via Slack channel where all of us will have real conversations about artificial intelligence, generative AI, LLMs, and how this kind of technology works. So if you join the Slack channel, the goal of this call is to kind of meet other people, network, learn a bit about AI, and then from there kind of come together to help us and the team figure out how we can use this technology for good. We're really lucky to kind of have a rock star team of folks that have kind of all aligned in this vision of building accessible AI for everyone. This kind of starts with the team of Breakthrough Tech folks that will kind of be giving talks on the private GPT and model inference products today, as well as Christy, Rajat, Sakshi, and my good co-founder, Katami, who I'm very thankful to work with. Thank you. We also have guest speakers that are also part of this kind of AI community in New York. So we have Amrutha, Brendan, Stephen, Hamza, Noel, and Faraz from startups such as PromptLayer, Athena Intelligence, and OpenAds, who also believe in kind of this vision of AI accessibility and making, their work accessible to kind of folks in the community. So we're very thankful that, they're coming to speak today in the second kind of part of the session. Without further ado, let me welcome my co-founder and partner, Tommy Clifford.